What's up, everybody? I have been meaning to film this video for a while, but I haven't done it. So here we are, doing it today. We are talking about taking our dogs to Disney. Our trip that we just took in September was the very first time that we took our dogs to Disney. So I did a lot of research and looking into things to make sure that I was aware of everything that needed to happen with taking them, because I didn't want to be unprepared. But I also found that a lot of what I was looking for, I struggled to find the information. I found it, but it took me a while. So I figured I'd compile a list of things that I wanted to know when I was preparing to take my dogs to Disney into a video, and maybe this will help somebody. So without further ado, here we go. For starters, there are 4 pet-friendly Disney resorts. There is Art of Animation, which is a value resort. I believe you can stay in both the Little Mermaids and the Suites with your pets, because I've seen videos of both, so I believe you can do both. But they do have at each resort, whether you stay at any of the 4 of them, there are pet-friendly specific sections. So when you do bring your pet, there's not gonna be just, they're the only pet in the building kind of situation. There are specific buildings that are designated for, I have dogs as we're discussing, so this video is probably gonna have chaos in the background. I apologize in advance, but it is what it is. But there are pet-friendly specific buildings for the dogs. So if you do have allergies, then that's not something you really need to worry about, because you can make sure that you're in a building that doesn't have animals in it. The second resort that you can bring pets to is the cabins and campsites at Fort Wilderness. There are the campsites that you can have the RV set up, there are campsites where you can have tent setups, and then there's the cabins. Both are pet friendly. Again, there are cabins that are specific for pet-friendly stays and cabins that there's never going to be a dog staying in them. The third pet-friendly resort is Port Orleans Riverside. That's where we stayed in September, and it was fantastic. Again, there are pet-friendly sections, so that's what we were stayed in. There was a lot of other pets there. There are pet relief areas, and so it's really the only time we ever saw or heard other dogs was when we were in that area. Being in our room though, we never heard any other dogs barking or anything. The fourth and final pet-friendly Disney resort is the Yacht Club. The Yacht Club is the only deluxe Disney resort that you can stay at with your pets. So a little bit more luxury, and you can have your babies. Why would you not? Probably the price tag. That's probably why you wouldn't, because the Yacht Club is pretty pricey. So something to think about, but you do have 4 options when choosing a pet-friendly Disney resort. Okay, let's talk price. So for the value and 2 moderate resorts, they're all 3 $50 fee per night. So Art of Animation, the cabins at Fort Wilderness, and Port Orleans Riverside, $50. Thankfully, it's not per pet. So we took our 2 dogs. We didn't have to pay $50 each. It's only $50 per night. So we were there 3 nights, so we paid $150 to have both of our dogs there for the 3 nights that we were there. For the Yacht Club, it is extra. It's a deluxe resort. Are we surprised? It's $75 per night. And for the Fort Wilderness campsites, which are the sites that you can either tent camp or have an RV, it is only $5. So that is super cheap if you're looking to go to Disney, you have an RV, you're looking, maybe you rent an RV, something of that nature. You can have your pets with you for only $5. So that's pretty cheap, in my opinion. Now let's talk restrictions. There are some restrictions to bringing your pets to Disney, such as you can only bring two per room, that is it. You can also only bring dogs. So unfortunately, at this point in time, you cannot bring cats with you or any other animal for that matter to Disney to stay in your pet-friendly resort with you. You can only have dogs and you can only have 2 of them. In the value resorts, or in the value resort and the 2 moderates, so Art of Animation, the Fort Wilderness, and Port Orleans Riverside, you can bring any size of dog with you. Doesn't matter, be a large dog, be a small dog, medium dog, doesn't matter. You can bring any size of dog with you. Yacht Club, on the other hand, there's a restriction. You can only bring dogs up to 75 pounds. So if you have a dog over 75 pounds, unfortunately, they're not allowed at the Yacht Club. But luckily, you do have other options that allow any size, any weight of dog. So that's lovely. Those are really the only like weight, size, any whatever restrictions. Also, dogs are not allowed in a lot of places. As you can probably figure, they're not allowed in the parks. They're not allowed in the water parks. They're not allowed at Disney Springs. They're not allowed in restaurants, the pools, other recreational areas. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. Basically, like anywhere there's going to be a lot of people, they're not allowed. Park speaking though, if you have a service animal, you can bring your service animal into the parks. I'm not the person to ask about that because I don't have a service animal, so I'm not versed in that section, in that information pool. I don't know what I'm saying, but I don't know anything about that. So if you're curious about bringing your service animal, I would encourage you to do your own research because I'm not sure what they're going to require from you if you're bringing your service animal and want to bring them into the parks with you. Another thing to note is housekeeping will not come clean your room if your dogs are in the room. So if you want housekeeping to come clean your room, you have to take your dogs and leave the room. Whether you go walk them around, whatever you do where dogs are allowed, they cannot be in the room with housekeeping there. So if that's something that is a deal breaker for you, then you might not want to bring your pets, because when you're off at the parks doing your thing, they're not going to come clean your room because your dogs are in there. So when we were there, like I said, we were only there for 3 days, so housekeeping wasn't that big of a deal to us. So we never had anybody come clean our room. We never called to ask them to come clean our room. However, I will note, because we never had anybody come clean our room, we did receive a phone call on our last day there. So our last night that we were there, that day we got a phone call from housekeeping saying that they needed to come inspect the room to make sure everything was okay. So all that process looked like was they set up a time with us, they came over, they literally stepped inside the room, made sure we hadn't destroyed the place, made sure that everything was good, and they left. It was maybe a 2-3 minute ordeal, wasn't that big of a deal at all. But that is something to note because that was also something that I didn't know anything about. Didn't expect that to happen, but it wasn't that big of a deal. So putting that out there, if your dogs are in the room with you and you just are saying, hey, I don't need housekeeping the whole week, at some point, at least probably once, they're gonna wanna come and make sure the room is okay. Previously mentioned, pet relief areas. There are designated pet relief areas at all of the pet-friendly resorts. They're pretty much same location as wherever your buildings are located. There's a sign that tells you it's a pet relief area, and there's actually a little post that has doggy poop bags in it and a little trash can to dispose of that. So I thought that was really nice because I didn't know, like I knew there was pet relief areas and all that, but I didn't know that there was actually going to be bags available for use. So I literally brought a box of them. I do that anytime we travel with the dogs because I want to make sure that I have enough. But I didn't know that that would be there. And so a lot of the times, like when we have a little carrier for the bags attached to their leashes, my lands, we have a little carrier attached to their leashes that has the bags in it. And when we ran out of them, we didn't even refill it because when we would take them over there, we just used the bags that were available for our use. And it made it so convenient and easy to be able to take the dogs out. Also, there is a lot of lighting in that area. So at night, it wasn't that big of a deal to take them out and go over there because it was well lit and I didn't have like a fear of something or someone or, you know, like sneaking up on us. I am a paranoid human being. And sometimes my mind just, it overtakes unlogically. And that didn't happen because it was well lit and we were safe. It was great. So that was really nice to have a specific area for them to go and have the convenience of having the bags and the trash right there. Just a couple more things on my list, and then I'm going to show you what they give you when you check in. So you're not allowed to leave your dogs in the room for more than 7 hours unattended. If you're taking a midday break from the parks, you're going to come back, chill out for a couple hours, and leave. That's probably what I would suggest to do, so that you're not leaving them in the room for 12 hours when you leave at 7 o'clock in the morning and don't come back till 7 o'clock at night. I definitely suggest taking that midday break. It's going to be good for you and good for them because they're not stuck in a room that they don't know where they're at or what they're doing, because you're there with them and they're going to be comfortable and you're not breaking the rules. So there's that. Also, anytime, hey, I'm talking here, sassy girl. I'm talking. Anytime you are out of the room with your pets, they must be on a leash. No exceptions. They have to be on a leash, whether it's a small dog, like a little tiny Chihuahua, or a great Mastiff. I don't know what kind of dog you got, but they must be on a leash. That is a requirement. We don't want anybody's dogs getting hurt or anyone getting hurt. So leashes are our friends. The last thing I'm going to mention before we get into the goodie bag is vaccination records. They do require you to have your vaccination records with you just in case. They never asked to see mine. I did have them, but they never asked to see mine. So just keep that in mind. You'll want to bring those just in case they do request to see them. For Arrival Day, we probably had a different experience than what most people have. Since we live in Florida, we worked that day and then we both got off early and drove down. It's 6 hours for us. And of course we stopped for gas, food, all that good stuff. So we did not make it there until like 10:30ish, I think. And I had done mobile check-in in the app. So I had done that prior to us even leaving. I think it's like 30 days out is the rule for doing online check-in. So that's what I had done because I knew we were going to be arriving late. So when we did get there, I already knew what room we were going to be in and all that stuff. So we went straight there, got into our room, carried all of our stuff in, had a billion things because it was us, plus the dogs, had to take the kennel in, all that good stuff. So being that late and all that good stuff, I didn't go to the lobby to do the normal dog check-in stuff. You probably could. I did not. I was ready to go to bed. So the next morning, I went to the lobby. Before we went and got breakfast and stuff, I went to the lobby and told them, hey, we have our dogs. Also, side note here, something I did not mention. You will want to call prior to your trip. Call Disney and tell them that you are bringing your dogs, because they will need to notate that in your reservation so that they know you're bringing dogs, so they can put you in those dog-friendly areas. When we stayed in January, we didn't have our dogs with us. We stayed at Riverside in January as well. We didn't have a dog with us, and we weren't in a pet-friendly area because we didn't have dogs, and I didn't call in. This time, I did call in, so we were put in a pet-friendly area. So you're gonna wanna make sure you call in prior. When you go to the lobby to check in, they're going to pull up your reservation and they're going to make sure that your dogs are on your reservation and that you are in the correct room type. Because if you didn't call in and you're not in a pet-friendly resort, my guess, I don't know this for a fact, but my guess is you're gonna be moved or something, because that room, that resort is not, or that building is not pet-friendly. So make sure that you or your travel agent, whoever, calls prior to your trip to let them know that you will be bringing your dogs. Then, once you get there, like I said, they will pull up your reservation, they verify that your dogs are on there, then you gotta sign some paperwork. This is just normal paperwork saying if there's damages, you are acknowledging that you're gonna pay for them, you're gonna follow the rules, all that good stuff. You sign your name, you put your room number, your phone number, all that good stuff. So if there's an issue where it's noon and you're at the parks and your dog is in there screaming his little head off, they're gonna call you. And they're gonna use that phone number you put on there, and you signed your name saying, yes, I accept these rules. They're gonna call you and tell you, get back here, your dog is screaming, and you better be back there. So there's a heads up for you too, that if your dog is not good at being left alone, is not well behaved, and he's barking and screaming his head off in his room, then they're gonna call you and make you come back. So something else to think about, if your dog is not good being left alone, they have some separation anxiety, maybe look into some other options and don't bring them. But after you sign your paperwork, they're going to give you one of these lovely bags. I was so excited because I knew this was coming, and I was so excited. My dogs got this little drawstring bag. It's got Pluto on it, and it just says Disney, and there's nothing on the back. But it's like, you could use this. Like, this is a nice, like, drawstring bag. It's so cute, and I love it. And inside of that was a little dog bowl for them to drink out of, eat out of, whatever. We didn't use this because I brought their dog bowls, but it's so cute that they give you this. So I probably will put this like outside or something for them to use this, but I think this is so cute. The next thing that they give you in the bag is this little carrier that's got poop bags in it. So just poop bags galore, you know? They just taking care of you on all outside necessity functions, you know? Also, they give you a little doggy tag, which I think is so cute. I wish I had asked, because I don't know if they'll do this, but I have 2 dogs, and I feel guilty if I put this on one of them and the other one doesn't have one. They probably don't care, but I care. So I haven't put this on either of them yet. Next time we take them, we'll get another one, and then I'll have 2. It's fine. So that's cute. Love that. The last thing that they give you actually is this little handout. And it actually has all of the, I know this is reversed for you, but it actually has all the pet policies on it. That way you can read through them. You make sure you have an understanding of what they allow, what they don't allow. But this is really nice to have, tells you where they're allowed to go, all that good stuff. This is also, I believe, in that agreement that you sign up front. I believe it says the exact same things. And then on the flip side of this, it actually is a map of the resort and all the different dog relief areas. So they have 4 different dog sections of this resort. So this is Port Orleans map. And they have 4 different sections for this. So I think that's super cool that they give you a little handout so that you have it instead of just looking for the signs and looking around and all that good stuff. And that is all I have. I hope this was helpful and informational for you. If you do have any questions, definitely feel free to leave me a comment and I will do my best to answer them. I am also a travel agent. I don't really advertise that on my channel at all, but I am a travel agent. So it is my job to know as much as I possibly can about the Disney parks and a bunch of different locations around the world. So if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer to it, I'm gonna look it up and do the research and I'll let you know. But yeah, if you do have a question, definitely leave me a comment down below and I will do my best to answer it for you. Thank you guys for watching my what it's like to take dogs to Disney and informational video. I hope that it was helpful. If you like these kinds of videos, if you like daily vlogs, travel videos, my channel is kind of a smorgasbord of that. I just film what I like, what I'm doing and what I like to film. So if you like that kind of stuff, please subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Like this video, share with your friends, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.